Bennett & Johnson Insurance Agency in Alma is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Red Raider Coaches Show. My name is Brent Johnson, along with head football coach Keith Goss. Coach, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Good, good. I ask that same question
every week,
and you give me basically the same answer.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change. All right. Well, we got a show for you today. We're going to be talking about. We missed last week. We had some scheduling issues. Coach wasn't feeling good one day, and it just didn't work out. So, and that's sometimes that happens.
It was the open week as well.
That's correct. But we're going to talk about the previous game. We're going to look forward to tomorrow night's game, but first of all, I want to mention a couple key sponsors. These platinum sponsors that send us money, to fund the program. Again, from food to other, all kinds of stuff. Helps. The big board, we're still excited about the Jumbotron and those types of things that these guys have put forth a major effort to help provide, again, our program, and not just football, and I'm getting off on a little tangent here, but those types of things will benefit that football field, where we play soccer and all different levels.
Graduation
certainly
will be a big deal.
Community events and those types of things. Macon County Hospital System, boy, they've been a staple, especially these last 18 to 22 months or so that we've been going through the pandemic. We want to thank the hospital as a whole, specifically their staff, for doing the great job they do providing medical services to our community, and again also chipping in and helping the football program, but just the true heroes of the last almost 2 years now.
There's no doubt the things they've had to overcome in that setting, what they've had to deal with COVID, what they've done in our community to help our community. It's been amazing. And
they've taken care of several of our ball team players. They've become ill and injured and that sort of thing. So again, we just want a special shout out to the Macon County Hospital System for being a part of our program. And then finally today, Industrial Forge, and boy, that's another big shout out to that industry. Mr. Ted Murray, although he has passed away, his legacy still remains in our school system, in our community, for his generosity over the years, and he has made sure that his company will continue to do that. We've been reassured that, and we're thankful for all those involved with Industrial Forge, and again their ability to give generously to not only, again, football, but to other programs and other things in our community. So, again, a big shout out to Industrial Forge, and once again, Macon County Hospital System. Coach, we have been off a couple weeks. We come off of a homecoming week, which, we're all pretty excited about. Sometimes it can be a nightmare for football coaches.
From time to time, just the homecoming events, the parades, and working that around practices, and then doing, all the things the kids are pulled one direction or another. I will say some of the school events were very spirited, because it was the first time that that we got to do pep rally in 2 years or so. So the kids seemed to really enjoy it. I think it ended up being a great thing.
Yeah, speaking of the pep rally, it's we were supposed to have it outside, and unfortunately it rained the night before. Everything was soaking wet. And the fact that we're having it before lunch, the field was going to be wet, the stands, and so we made the admin made a decision to bring it inside to the gym, and man, that place was rocking. That's the loudest, and like you said, it's been almost 2 years since we've had a pep rally, and all 4 grades were really into it. A lot of times the freshman class is really quiet, and even the sophomores, they just don't get into it like the juniors. Usually between the juniors and the seniors, the competition, who's the loudest, and this, that, and the other. But it was very spirited, and I was very, very proud and pleased.
Yeah, it was one of the better ones I've ever seen or been around in my time. So it was good energy.
Yeah. Well, that day of celebration led to that evening's game as we hosted Tattnall County, Region 2, 3A.
Yes.
Region 2, 3A opponent. We faced them last year. We went over to their place and had a good showing. And then they come here that Friday night, bringing an improved team.
No, there's no doubt they were much improved. Their coach over there has done a great job. Those kids have bought into their system, and their quarterback,
yeah, he was a threat.
He's pretty sporty.
Yeah. They're going to give some teams in their region a little more trouble than they have in the past few years.
I fully expect them to be more than likely number 3 team out of that region and have a chance once they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They've had guys that you can tell from last year, this year, they were committed. They continue to work in the weight room and stay with the program. And when you do those things, success follows.
Do you know that coach personally?
I do. We both usually work at the GACA All-Star Game together. We will again this winter. He's a good guy, a good person. So he, I talked to him before the game, after the game. He could tell, that we were missing some pieces from the year before. And so, he planned accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, homecoming, big crowd. We did crown homecoming king and queen before the game. Matter of fact, the king is here with us behind the camera today. Keandre Young.
Man of many skills.
Many skills. Keandre unfortunately sustained an injury, season-ending injury. He'll have some sort of surgery to take care of that, hopefully get him back on his feet and preparing to play some football at the next level come this time next year. So we're thoughts and prayers are with him. And then Tara Brentson was our homecoming queen. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Well, Coach, it was kind of a rough start for us for the homecoming game.
Yeah, we never really got established offensively. We put our defense in bad positions very early. We had 2 turnovers to start the game. We had a kickoff that was returned fairly deep, and the defense held them to a field goal. Then our first 2 possessions ended up in turnovers. I think one of them was a pick 6. So we're starting off in a hole that is 17-0, and those are things we have to clean up. Obviously, we can't. We have to do a better job protecting the football and the meshes with the quarterbacks. We use 2 quarterbacks, or have used 2 quarterbacks, and obviously we need to spend more time on our meshes between both those guys with the running backs. We mishandled that one down there early, and then we threw an interception that really we tried to force in there instead of just throwing it away if it wasn't there and living for the next play. So but those are things that we know we can work on,
right,
and we'll continue to work on. So once we got in that hole, we did come back and hit them with a big play and got a touchdown on the board. But they were able to continue to drive and score, and really didn't slow them down much from that point.
Yeah. Well, and when a team at any level, you get down 14, 17, 20 points, it takes you out of your game plan. You got to try to do some things maybe you didn't necessarily want to do or feel or have to do, like
There's-
throw. And
yeah.
and you throw. There's probably a 50% chance in high school football that it's going to be dropped, overthrown, or something, and clock stops, and you know, three up, 3 down,
Right.
as in baseball.
You know, it's one of those things that you know, we just didn't have a ton of success throwing it, and it led to stopping the clock and you know, just kind of making the situation worse.
Yeah.
So I will say, you know, we did everything we could to keep fighting and get back
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And that part's obvious. You know, we never gave up.
No.
But it does make the score look worse when it doesn't work out.
Right. Well, you know, when you look at the scoreboard going into halftime, you know, it's like it was tough to see. And then, but more importantly, you know, coming back out, I saw some young players trying to make some plays.
No, there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are getting a lot of time right now, and we're going to be better for it as the season goes along and in the future. Those kids have the right mindset, and they're going to keep doing the right things to become successful.
Yeah, so they definitely didn't quit. You know, kept again playing hard, and again give Tatnall a lot of credit for, as you mentioned earlier, the coach done a great job continuing to build that program. They're in a pretty tough region themselves. You got two top teams in the state. One's the defending state champion, and then now you've got another team in Appleton County who's been solid for years, but this year might be their year.
It very well could be the game between them at the end of the season. You know, that's going to be probably something that's, you know, of a semi or quarterfinal caliber matchup,
Yeah.
if they're both healthy at that point.
Yeah. All right, so we'll change gears this week as we will focus on our first region game
That's right.
of the season, and this is where it's a new season. It's where
This
it all
is
begins.
this is where it all begins, as far as, you know, getting into the playoffs and, you know, where our focus is now. Obviously, you know, we've had a ton of things to overcome and adversity to overcome thus far this season, and our kids understand that. They continue to work. We've had some really good practices this week. You know, with that being said, you know, Jeff Davis is a good football program.
Oh yeah, by the way, Jeff Davis is coming to town. That's JD Hazelhurst.
They are, you know, I think they're ranked a top 10 team in the state. They've had a good season thus far, and that, you know, I think they have, you know, 4 or 5 players that have offers at this point. So it's going to be a tall task, but, you know, we game plan for them. We've practiced hard for them, and we're going to do the things we think we can do to be successful.
Well, one of those, you know, from watching them over the course of the last couple of years, specifically with this new coach, we pretty much know what they're going to try to do on offense.
Oh yeah,
It's just
and it's, you know what they're going to do on defense. It's not, you know, it's not a mystery.
yeah, they're going to line up on offense, and you can come and try to stop us.
Right.
You know, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They do have some guys that can pop it 40, 50, 60 yards as well, but they don't. But basically what I'm saying is they don't throw it too often.
No, and their quarterback, you know, he's more of a runner than a thrower. Not that he hasn't completed some good balls down the field. And they have a pretty dang good receiver, number 7. He's sporty,
Yeah, he's a good looking athlete.
and so, you know, it'll be. They have a guy out there that they can get it to. So you know, we always have to prepare. We know it's in their scheme. We know what they do. We've watched all the film. It's just, you know, lining up, executing what we feel like we can do against them, and making the plays.
Now, is it it's not a wing tee, is it?
They base. That's where it all bases from.
Okay.
Now they've done more this year to break their formation, as far as doing things out of double wing, doing things with more motion.
Is he an under center or a shotgun?
Primarily under center.
Under center. That's what I remembered. Yeah.
But, you know, the quarterback this year is definitely more of a run threat. which, adds another phase to the wing T offense.
Yeah, that just makes the option even more optional.
Right. And they,
Yeah.
people that run the wing T, if they can get in and do some things where they run option game to the weak side, it really does help their offensive scheme.
Yeah. And defensively, how are they going to line up against us, Coach?
Their base 4-4 cover 3. They keep it in front of them. They come up and make tackles. Defensively, you're more than likely going to get a 3 technique strong and a shade weak or a 1 to the weak side, which is football talk for where they line up across the front.
Right.
As you motion, our linebackers bump with motion, and so we've scouted them out. We've worked it. We've had 2 weeks to work on it. Those are things they do, and how they adjust.
Now, I hate to say it, but their coach, he's done a pretty good job with their program since he's been there. A really good job, actually, and he's a pretty good guy too.
Yeah, Lance does a good job, and me and him, we talk on the phone quite a bit. A lot of the coaches in the area do. I know a lot of the fans. Everybody hates this person in this county, and everybody hates us. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to build our programs, build the best product we can, and build young men in the community.
Yeah.
And so there's times that we talk to each other about, how to improve things and bounce ideas off each other. I know they have over there started their own wall of fame after they saw what we did, and so they thought that was something really good to pull the community together. And so they saw what we did and they put their own spin on it, and that stuff's great.
Yeah.
It does nothing but make all of us better.
That's right.
So, but no, Lance is a good guy. He works hard, and gets them prepared.
Well, what are we going to look like tomorrow night offensively, Coach? Any adjustments? I know we're
going to have a few wrinkles in, but we're just not going to talk about it on TV. Because I'm pretty sure everybody can pull this up.
They can on YouTube. They don't have to have an NFHS account to watch this.
So but no, there's some different wrinkles for tomorrow night. Some things that we've made adjustments and looked at some different ways to be more successful.
Okay. Well, I usually don't. We don't talk specifically about players a whole lot, or I don't. But I just know this young man who's been out since the spring, all summer long, nursing a foot injury, and then he had some personal issues, illness, family, this, that, and the other, and he just come back to school a couple weeks ago and rejoined the team. That's Xavier Williams. Smoke. How's he? He's getting his football legs, because pound for pound, he may be the strongest and fastest kid on our team.
Pound for pound, he's the strongest and fastest kid in the school.
Yeah.
But it's when you've been out for a leg injury, and you've been out, with some of the other things he's had to face, personal, family-wise, sickness-wise, it takes a little while to get back up to speed, and we're in that process. It's good to have him back.
Yeah.
He's doing some things to help the team, and
he'll be playing majority snaps at linebacker.
He's going to play some linebacker for us. We'll move him around a little bit according to where we feel like formationally he can help us stop what they do. But he's going to play some inside linebacker at times. He's going to play outside linebacker and set the edge at times, because he's one that's strong enough if something is run at him to set the edge.
Gotcha.
And when you're playing the wing T, they're blocking down. You got to come and fit the edge and cancel it out. That's how you wad it up and force it to bounce, and then you scrape to the play. Jeff Davis, when they run their wing T, they want to hit it as downhill as possible, because they try to run it more of a power style.
Like between the tackles type deal?
So you'll see them, they try to kick most everything and turn up tight.
Gotcha.
And get downhill, where some teams treat it different ways according to how they formation. But
well, that tells me they got some pretty good offensive linemen inside that they think that can
I know for sure they have one that's committed to Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Obviously he's talented.
Yeah.
Playing, Division I offensive line.
Yeah.
But there's a few more on the team that have fielded other offers. I think that receiver has an offer from Kennesaw State. And I know there's a couple others that are, being looked at.
Yeah. All right, well, Coach, we want to encourage our Raider Nation to come out tomorrow night. Again, we're fortunate to have another home game as we host Jeff Davis. We have another home game next week as we'll be hosting the Toombs County Bulldogs, and then we're going to go on the road, and that would be to Swainsboro, I believe.
And then
back home, East Lawrence, and then we have Vidalia away, and that'll wrap it up for the regular season. Then there's an additional week in the season. I think it's an off week for us, that last official week of the season. So we do have 4 straight weeks of region play, 2 at home, 1 away. 5, excuse me, because we're just starting. So anyway, come join us tomorrow night at this local game. Again, it's Jeff Davis. Come out and let's be loud and proud. And I've always said Mike Wheeler, a little plug for Mr. Mike Wheeler and Country Financial and his son John. They do a lot for the community as well. But Mike always said we got to beat them in marbles, basket weaving, underwater quilt making. It don't matter, much less sports. So let's come out and do what we can to support our Raiders as they take the field tomorrow night versus the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets. And again, most importantly, as we begin our region schedule. So, what's happened in the past doesn't matter anymore. It's what these next 5 games is what will determine if we get in the playoffs or not. And that's the key. That's why we're here, is to make playoffs. So, Coach, I appreciate you joining us this morning. Raider Nation, once again, please free to come out tomorrow night. If you can't for whatever reason, you can watch us live on the NFHS Network, powered by Play on Sports, brought to you by BCTV Red Raider Broadcasting. And you can actually tune in. I'm going to give the radio guys a plug. You can tune in to 104.3 station right here from Alma, Georgia. That'll be broadcasting as well. So once again, thank you for joining us on the Red Raider Coaches Show.